Alright, let's delve into the collective experience surrounding Awaria based on this rather enthusiastic set of player comments. It seems this free-to-play title has made quite an impression, and not always in a way that's entirely predictable. Firstly, there's a clear, resounding appreciation for the game's art style. The visual aesthetic, drawing heavily from the developer's previous work, is consistently lauded as adorable, gorgeous, and fantastic. The character designs, particularly the ghost girls, are a major draw. There's a definite sense of recognition for the unique visual flair that the developer brings. The music too gets a lot of positive attention. It's repeatedly called amazing, excellent, and fitting of the game's vibe. Clearly, the sound design complements the visual and gameplay aspects, creating an immersive experience for many. However, the gameplay itself sparks a more divided conversation. It's clear that Awaria is not simply a rehash of previous titles. The shift from a puzzle focus to a more reflex-based, action-oriented style is a significant change. The core loop, which involves repairing generators while dodging attacks from ghost entities, is described as initially simple but progressively nuanced. Many find it fun, dynamic, and engaging. Terms like satisfying and captivating pop up frequently, especially in regard to mastering the core mechanics. Yet, a significant portion of the feedback zeroes in on the game's difficulty, especially on hard mode. The difficulty curve is described as massive, and not always in a positive way. Many players express frustration with the late game levels, noting a sharp increase in difficulty that can feel unfair. There's a recurring sense that the challenge shifts from a test of skill to a matter of luck, with complaints regarding overly randomized enemy spawns, attack patterns, and generator component requirements. Issues with hitboxes and occasional unresponsive controls further compound this frustration. Some players feel that the game's mechanics can be unreliable, leading to cheap deaths and a sense of powerlessness. The final boss levels, in particular, seem to be a major sticking point, often being described as a spam fest, where it's impossible to see bullets due to the sheer amount of action. Several compare the experience to other genres, such as bullet hell, time management, and even Overcooked, but with a common thread that while fun, it's brutally difficult and sometimes unfair. Despite the difficulty woes, many players appreciate the challenging nature of the game. Some explicitly state that they enjoy the stress and the feeling of accomplishment when they finally overcome a particularly challenging level. There's a sense that Awaria pushes players to their limits, and for many this is part of the appeal. A recurring theme, of course, is the Yuri aspect of the game, the romantic relationships between the ghost girls. There's a lot of playful, often explicit commentary about this element, with many using terms like Sesbian Lex, ghost kissing, Yuri slop, and similar variations to express enjoyment of this aspect. The ghost girls have clearly resonated with a good portion of the player base. There's also a strong sense of community and in-jokery. References to the developer's previous games, especially Helltaker, are common, establishing a sort of shared context and expectations. The game's free-to-play model is also consistently mentioned as a major plus, making the experience even more appreciable given its low barrier to entry. Finally, several are eager for more content, with some even suggesting they would be willing to pay for level packs or DLC. The game's short runtime is a common complaint, indicating that many players enjoyed the core gameplay loop and want more of it. In summary, Awaria is a game that has clearly left a mark on players. It boasts a strong visual and auditory identity, a fast-paced gameplay style, and characters that resonate with many. While its difficulty, particularly in hard mode and the last levels, is a significant point of frustration, it also seems to add to the addictive nature of the game. Overall, it is described as a unique and engaging experience.